Okay, so I'm not very happy right now with the way my tank is looking. I don't mean the health of the tank, particularly the aquascape. And if you listen to my other videos, you know I have a lot to say about aquascape, and I wish there was more good examples of nicely aquascaped reef aquariums. We have the benefit of beautiful corals, lots of color and texture and form, different forms, and but artistically I don't see much differences from one aquarium to another. And I've tried to, with my own aquarium, to do something a little different, but I don't really know that I have the artistic touch that I was hoping many others would, and I could kind of feed off that and use examples of really nicely aquascaped aquariums. But I am overall happy with what I have in a lot of respects. But let's take a closer look. I'm going to do some tweaks today and move some corals around and show you some new frags I have. I don't really know that I really want to purchase more in the realm of frags. I'm not a collector like many people that always want to have the next newest SPS, whatever. But there are some frags I recently purchased after all these years of me telling you I hardly ever buy anything. I pretty much obtained everything through swaps and giveaways and that kind of thing, and I've recently actually gave some of my frog spawn away and fragged off a lot of the other corals I have, including my large gorgonian right behind my shoulder here. But let us take a closer look now, and then we'll get into the particulars of what is disturbing me and what I want to move. And after the move, I don't really know how it's going to turn out, but hopefully it'll be a good story and it'll turn out to be a little bit more satisfying than what it is right now. And as you know, I always like to have a lot of white space. Less reef, more water. And if I obtain the dream that everybody fantasizes about, bigger tank, and if I did have that opportunity, I would use it not to have a bigger reef than I have now, but to have a lot more water, because it just speaks to the ocean and just vast quantities of water with a reef just everywhere, and want to portray that artistically to the depth of the ocean, and I mean depth more than just, you know, surface to bottom, but the depth of variation and diversity. And so, okay, let's just kind of I'll step out of the way now and take a little closer look at the aquarium, and then talk to you from there what some of my thoughts are. So one of the things I'm not really liking is the overall form of the aquascape. We have the Duncan here, the bubble coral here, and I hate to even say it, but this gorgonian coming out between them, that's got to go. So I really don't know what I'm going to move. I mean, I know we're going to move these around somehow. And, you know, you hate to move something when it's doing well. I mean, the Duncan is healthy, the gorgonian, all these are very healthy. The overall tank is healthy. Some of the new frags aren't, I think, need to be moved. That's part of getting new frags anyway, is moving them to a spot where figure out where they're happiest. That's one of the great things about a frag being so small. It's easier to figure out where it's happy while it's small, and rather than getting something to full size and then trying to figure out where it's not doing well. But definitely want to move this in some other kind of arrangement. But overall, I think the aquascape is going to remain the same. It's just tweaking it. So let's see what happens. Oh wow, did I make a mess? So I got a storm going on now, but I made some tweaks. The Duncan is now here and changes the balance just a little bit. It was here in this open area, but I moved it here, and it just changes the balance of the aquarium a little bit. I'm actually purposely showing you this during the storm, and just to see later on how things clear up. It'll be quite interesting. I mean, everything is now in a state of chaos, and the polyps are no longer extended. They're just kind of surviving. I moved the hammer frag right here, and actually in the middle of all this frog spawn there's a candy cane. I've had this candy cane for years. It hasn't grown. It's just kind of not doing anything. So it was in the back of the aquarium behind that brain, and it was a healthy piece, but it just never grew. And I'm going to move it here and see if it needs something else to get it happy. Here's my frog spawn. I kind of pushed it a little further away from the glass, pepped it up a little bit. And my blue polyps, I've moved over here. They hadn't been happy lately. They were over where this Duncan is. But overall, I feel like right now during the chaos, it looks like everything looks deeper than it did before. It's a good feeling. Just tweaking a little bit to give you a little bit more sense of depth. The storm of the bottom being stirred up makes it almost look realistic. And of course now the bubble has been moved over on this side, and that gorgonian has now been moved over here. You know, it may take a few trial runs on this, tweaking things and moving things around. You can see the coral is slimed up a bit when my hands in there messing around with it. And I'll come back later as things clear up, and we'll take another look and see how all of this ends up looking in the end. And then we'll decide whether or not we need to move a little bit more again. Okay, let's see how we did. Actually, I'm quite pleased. The overall look is a lot more spacious. It almost looks like I pulled things out of there, and I didn't. I just moved them around a little bit. And so once again we have this gorgonian over here. He's kind of blowing over with the current. I may have to move him, or straighten him up a little. And the bubble, I don't know if I'm quite happy with the bubble where it is. Well, I think I do like where it is, but I may have to tweak it down further or whatever. There's that sponge I have with all the mushrooms on it. Blue polyps. And just the overall look now, it just looks like I have a lot more open space. And what amazes me is I had given away, a few months ago I gave away a couple branches of my frog spawn. And then again, just a few weeks ago, I gave some more frog spawn away. And it looks like I haven't even touched it. I did prop it up a little yesterday. This one all the way to the right down in the sand, it's still up against the glass. And this one over here was touching the Duncan. So I'm kind of happy where the Duncan is right now. So I just propped up the one that's right directly in front of the large gorgonian. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the results of my tweaking around. So let me talk a little bit about these frags I was telling you about. So over the years, I haven't purchased yet, but about a year ago, the Spider-Man monopore. It was just a little frag, and it's actually started doing, I thought it was doing nothing for about 6 to 10 months, and then all of a sudden it's taken off. And so I expect that it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And of course now this green monopore, that's my shelf, that was given to me from somebody closing their tank down. But a new frag is this stylo, which I just got from Wide World of Corals, which I don't live too far from Wide World of Corals, so I went over there and I picked up a few. I picked up this frag here, that stylo, and something else. Oh yeah, these polyps right here. They're orange, and of course now, anytime you have some color under somebody else's lights and under somebody else's system, they're not quite as orange as they were, but they've only been in my tank a few weeks. I got those from Wide World of Corals. And then this little brain right here I picked up in Jacksonville a couple months ago, and he looks okay, although he's got a little bit of cyano blowing around him. I have to keep an eye on that. And then I have this other frag, which is this hammer, and he's not looking all that good. And I've only had him, well, I got him a month or so ago, and I got him in Jacksonville, an aquarium store. There's several nice Reef aquarium coral shops in Jacksonville, Florida, and I went up there and picked him up at the same time I got that brain I just showed you. So those are the frags, but like I said, I don't even desire any more frags, to be honest with you. At least not at this time. I'm not thinking of anything else that needs to be added to the aquarium. I really love this section over here with the frog spawn. I'd like the openness of the where the fish can swim really freely through it. It's got a nice open coral garden look to it, and you know it's not always the best thing to take all your nicest stuff and stick it out front. My favorite coral is that big brain that the Rock Beauty's swimming over, and you know, he's set in the background, and sometimes that's the way to do things. To me, it's an eye catcher in itself, and it'll draw people's eyes deeper into the aquarium. But that's it. I mean, that's the results, and I just wanted to share that with you. See what you thought. In particular, it kind of encouraged people to think more of the artistic display of their aquascaping, whether they're doing biotopes or... But you know, of course, this is a Caribbean aquarium per se, at least not so much with the corals, but with the fish. And I'm going to do another video on the fish themselves, and that'll be coming out in a few weeks, if not sooner. I don't know if I'm going to post the fish one first or this one first, but I'm thinking of posting this one first. Alright, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.